and how does the practicing actually gets you ready to be at that moment and to actually prepare yourself to be there?
Yeah, so like when we're practicing, a lot of the drills we do are usually to try to get an escape fast. As soon as the whistle blows, you're told to explode up to your feet and just start fighting, trying to get your escape, fight the hands. You know, you put your hips out. Don't let this guy return you. If he returns, you got to pop right back up. And most of the time, these drills can be very tiring. And, it can be discouraging if somebody picks you up and slams you back down to the mat. But when you're in the practice room, they prepare you to, as soon as you touch the mat, you pop back up and you're fighting again. You don't stop. Same thing comes to when you're practicing your takedowns. You know, they always tell you you got to finish how you would finish in a match. So if you're getting to the leg, take the guy completely down, because if you just stop as soon as you get the leg, then it's going to become a habit. And then when you go out in competition, you're going to get to the leg and you won't be able to finish. You know, so another thing they emphasize is to over exaggerate the little things. Over exaggerate when you shoot that penetration step, over exaggerate it. You know, over exaggerate your snaps, over exaggerate. Pretty much every little thing that you do to get to that finish, you have to over exaggerate and you have to just repeat it. And the another thing that they teach us a lot in the practice room is to set yourself up to be able to wrestle anybody. So we don't drill just one move, even if we're good at it. We don't drill two moves or three. We drill a variety of moves, and we drill those moves in a way that we can chain wrestle. So chain wrestling just means wrestling from one move to the next move to the next move to the next move. Because if we're being realistic, when you're wrestling a high level opponent, especially in college, most of the time your first shot is not going to take the guy down. It's usually going to be your second or third shot. So you have to be able to go from maybe a single leg, transition over to a high crotch, transition over back out to a single leg, and then this guy defends again. You transition over to a double leg and you finish. You know, um, if you're on top, you got an underhook. You reach over to the near leg. He moves that back. You go over. You knee tap him. He gets out of the knee tap, then you snap. He gets out of the snap and you high crotch. It's just constant wrestling, and that's something that is emphasized a lot in the practice room, which just prepares you for when you're in the moment. You know what you're doing. You don't have to think about it. It's just kind of a reaction at that point.
Yeah, so it is kind of like, like you're doing one thing, but as you're doing that one thing, you already know, kind of like, okay, I have been practicing like takedowns in the room. I have been practicing outside singles. I have been practicing, like underhooks, horns, like every single move, like low singles. Like you have been practicing all of that. So kind of like when you go out there and you wrestle, and kind of like that uh, really does, like place in the match, because you have been practicing now. Okay, if this doesn't work, then I gotta look for this. And basically through that, you're always looking for openings to actually get the guy down, right? Like to win the match and to score points. And how does, like knowing those things and, your teammates, how does having a teammates makes you a better athlete, like in the match, and brings confidence to yourself, but as well, how does that actually uh, bring something to themselves back and lets them know, hey, you know what, if this guy is doing good, then I can do good too, because, we are doing the same things in the room, even though we're different weight class. We're basically doing the same things. It's just the weight difference, but also, the main thing. But if he can do it, then I can do it too. How does that actually place into create a bond?
Okay, so the way I was taught to think about my partners is you're always as good as your partner. You know, you have your partner that pushes you every day, right? If your partner is not your biggest rival, then I think you need a different partner. You know, you need to know that the guy that can steal your position at any given moment, that's the guy you have to try to outwork. That's the guy that you have to try to push. You know, and same goes for the opposite guy. If he knows that you're the main guy, and it's either his dream or your dream. He's gonna push you, and he's gonna be wrestling hard every single day, to show you, hey, I want that spot, and it's your job to kind of develop as he develops. You guys are both rising to the level of competition of each other. So I think that's really important when you have a wrestling partner, and I think that's what makes you a better wrestler, having that partner that if you push up the pace, he's going to push up that pace with you. If you turn up into a fifth gear, he's going to shift to that fifth gear with you. you know and I think that's super important, and I think that's what gets you 1% better every day. You guys constantly pushing each other, but also being able to talk it out after practice. Your partner can go up to you and be like, "Hey, dude, you're staying a little too distant. You're shooting from far away. I'm able to see it." Or maybe you're hesitating a little too much. Like I can feel like you're about to take me down, and then you hesitate and you go to something else because you feel like you're not going to get it. And I think the combination of him trying to beat you, but also trying to help you beat him is what makes you guys better. Because now you gave this guy your, I guess, your advantage. So now you have to figure out a different way to beat him, and that's how you keep